Oh, oh, Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayana. Hari Om and greetings from Niagara Falls. As a young parent, and most of you are parents, what is one question you ask yourself as a parent? What is a question you ask yourself as a parent? For me, how do I know I'm doing the right thing? How do I know I'm raising my child in the right way? How do I know that I'm feeding him at the right time, I'm displaying the right behaviors, and on and on and on? Yes, you all ask yourself that. If you don't, you should. And when I do ask myself this question, I'm clear that my intention is right, that I'm trying to act in the best way for my son. I may not implement that, but my intention is right. And I know that intention is right because of satsang. By being exposed to sat. Sat means nobility, sat means truth. By being exposed to that, then one's intentions do become aligned with that nobility, with that truth. Imagine we were satsang. Imagine we were sat. Then living would not become black and white. Living would become ultra black and white. We would never have that question of, am I doing the right thing? We would know, we would feel that we're doing the right thing. That is living the divine life. That is living as a Devi. A Devi is someone who is divya. That they are light. And where there's light, there cannot be darkness, correct? Our Devi culture study groups have that aspiration for living to become ultra clear, where we walk with confidence. And we began our invocation of this by trying to understand the nature and function of the Guru. Because the Guru is someone who is light also, someone who removes darkness. Sri Ramakrishna shares, we have to become servants of virtues before we can become servants of God. Servants of virtues before we can become servants of gods. Now, as we think about the Guru Shishya Parampara, they are embodiments of virtues. All of the words we read in our scriptures, like compassion and discipline, they live that. By becoming a servant of the Guru Shishya Parampara, we are led to becoming servants of God. And one of the shlokas we studied in Guru Stotram shared how the Creator delivers the Guru who delivers ourself. The Creator delivers the Guru who delivers ourself. And the opposite is true also. When we do find ourselves, we know it's because of the Guru, and we are grateful for the Creator. This was Shloka 12 of Guru Stotram. And I had shared at the completion of our course, I would go through a one word, one practice for all of Guru Stotram. So I'm going to share that with you, and then we'll continue with our study of Aarti. The first shloka of Guru Stotram, the one word is existence. And the practice is touch all carefully. Here Bhagavan Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, the Guru knows existence, so the Guru is existence. How do we tune into that? When we touch all carefully, our books, our utensils, our bed, we're remembering that existence, that Sat. In the second shloka, the one word is vision. This shloka is about how my eyes are closed right now, and with knowledge, my eyes are opened. And the practice is consult before deciding. When we don't consult, as in, we don't think about what the Guru would do, we don't think about knowledge, all we do becomes reactionary, correct? But if I can try to ask someone who's wise, remember the wise, then I stop reacting and I start responding. The third shloka, the one word is guide. Guide. Here we acknowledge that the Guru begins our journey, facilitates our journey, completes our journey. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And the practice is remember your growth. If you can rewind to the beginning of 2018, have you not grown? Go back 5 years. You've grown so much. Keep growing. The fourth shloka is similar to the first, but we have to remember these shlokas are not redundant. These are not wasted words that Bhagavan Shiva is offering to Bhagavati Parvati. If the first shloka is focusing on existence, then naturally the fourth shloka would focus on awareness. They are the same, but it's another way to look at the divine. And our practices speak to communicate. Speak to communicate. When I'm aware that you're trying to be happy and I'm also trying to be happy, why should I debate with you? Why should I focus on our separation when I can focus on our unity? Communicating brings us, or we come to unity. The fifth shloka is on action. Action. This shloka is the one that contains the word Chinmaya. And we studied a lot about how one who's remembered in the past, present, and future is one who is disciplined. Like our Puja Gurudev, like the Guru Shishya Parampara. And our practice here is choose the long term. Choose the long term. If you choose the short term, you will be forgotten, even in the short term. But if you choose the long term, if you think and speak and act in the long term, you will be remembered. You will be a contributor to creation rather than just a passerby. The 6th shloka, the one word is guidance. How does the guide offer guidance? Through the scriptures, through the shastras. And our practice here, read to reflect. If we read in the morning, our day becomes more reflective. I was reading an interview of one of our senior teachers in Chinmay Mission, and he was sharing that his sadhana helps to smoothen out all of the hardships that come with being a teacher, with being a guide. Sadhana. The 7th shloka, the one word is joy. There's a whole series of words that describe the Guru, describe God. Shashwataha, Shandaha. One who is calm, quiet, still, silent. That person is joyous. And our practice is listen to help. Here is the difference between acting for fulfillment and acting out of fulfillment. When I am joyous, I act out of fulfillment. So I listen to someone to help them. I don't listen to someone hoping I can get something from that. This is what this shloka is helping us to become. Shloka 8 is guided. Guided. Shloka 147 is Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, awareness, joy. Shlokas 3, 6, and 8 is the guide, guidance, guided. So Shloka 8 is guided. When someone has this divine knowledge, they feel divine, they feel grateful, they don't need anymore. And our practice for the 8th shloka is offer your earnings. Offer your earnings. And that can be interpreted as this prasada buddhi, that all that comes to me I'm grateful for. Even deeper than that is to be that person who keeps giving and giving and giving, so your focus is on mukti and not bhukti. As soon as we stop focusing on giving, naturally we revert to getting, which is bhukti. So live by mukti. The 9th shloka, the one word is knowledge. This knowledge is the only way for there to be an end to sadness. And our practice here is smile with gratitude. Smile with gratitude. Our nature is Atma, and another word for Atma is Ananda. When I know that, I benefit by that. For this shloka to come to life, I should know that. I should smile more often. Shloka 10 is purpose. The only purpose of living is to tune into life. And our one word practice here is sweat out excuses. There is no other purpose of living. The purpose is not to be a community member. The purpose is not for my name to be on certain walls. The purpose is to tune into life. Sweat out excuses. And we talked a lot here about how the water from the Guru's feet is the same water that can help us dry up samsara, meaninglessness. Purpose. And to complete, shloka 2, 5, and 9 was knowledge, vision, action. Knowledge expresses as vision, which expresses as an action. Shloka 11, and this is all new, the previous 10 I had already shared with you, is gain. Gain. And the word adhikam is used again and again, that there's nothing higher than the Guru and what the Guru can do for us, Swami Tejomayananda shares, the highest gain is when you no longer seek gain. What a once-in-a-lifetime experience where one just stops seeking gain. And that means you've reached the highest. The practice here is reach past redoing. Reach past redoing. If you think of our domestic life, we do so many things that we have to do again and again and again. Like wash the dishes, correct? Like look after our bodies. There's so much redoing. Doesn't that seem futile? But if we don't reach past that, we're going to keep on redoing that. We're going to have to do that forever. But if I reach past that there has to be something more, or how I'm doing this should be more meaningful, that's when I tune into that gain. That I've only experienced the highest, and now I'm tuned into that. If you want to make this more light, everything we do, we should do in such a solid way that it doesn't have to be redone. Again, going back to washing the dishes, we have a lot of people who visit our home and they like to help out. They like to wash the dishes as an example. But sometimes we just have to re-wash the dishes that they did because they've never washed dishes before. Right? And especially with an infant, there has to be more cleanliness. Everything has to be more sterile as an example. Someone should never have to follow up with us. Someone should never have to catch our errors. We should be that careful with what we do. 12. The word is truth. And I just referenced that. My Natha is the same as my Guru, which is the same as my Atma. And mine also Sarva. That which is most universal is the truth. Universally, all bodies need oxygen, so oxygen is a truth for the body, correct? So that which is most universal is the truth. Our practices feel the intention. Feel the intention. The greatest source of sorrow in our lives is working with people, living with people. But most people, their intention is to be happy. If I can feel that and see that it's universal, I'm not so hard on them. I don't criticize as much. I don't expect as much. This is a fourth framework, which I've just completed, so we're clear. Existence, awareness, joy, 147. Knowledge, vision, action, 259. Guide, guidance, guided, 368. Purpose, gain, truth. Our purpose is to gain the truth, which is 10, 11, 12. And Shloka 13 is the summary of Guru Stotram. In Shloka 13, Bhagavan Shiva shares with Mother Parvati everything he's shared in the first 12 verses, in one verse. It is our summary, and the practice for this is live as life. If you know the nature and function of the Guru, it would be the same as knowing the nature and function of God, which is life. Existence, awareness, joy is life. So live like that. This was the completion of Guru Stotram. So now what do we do? What is the purpose of having a teacher in your life? If you have a tabla teacher in your life, naturally you want to be better at playing the tabla, correct? If you have a driving teacher in your life, you want to be a better driver. What is the purpose of having a guru in one's life? Do you know? The purpose of a guru in one's life is to rediscover God. And so naturally, after the study of Guru Stotram, there should be the study of God. We will commence our study of Jagadisha Aarti. So I'm going to say that very slowly. Aarti. I'm going to say it one more time. Aarti. Long A, then short A. Because now we just say Aarti. Then we say RD. It's Aarti. The word Aarti is that which conquers Ratri. And Ratri means night. Ratri means tamas. Ratri means avidya, as in me not knowing who I am. Ratri is the opposite of being divya. So the word Aarti is synonymous with divya, is synonymous with Devi. What a lovely subject for all of us. Another way to think about Aarti. There's a chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there's a shloka in this chapter where a word is used that sounds like Aarti. Do you remember that chapter in shloka? The chapter is 7. I believe the shloka is 14 or 16. The word used there is Aarti. Artha. Artha means one who is pained, one who is distressed, one who is suffering from stress, anxiety, depression. That's Artaha. And Aarti is that which stops that. The word Aarti means stopping, ceasing. So Aarti stops Artaha. So we are studying Aarti to go from tamas to sattva, to go from sadness to joy. And we are going to study Jagadisha Aarti. How many of you have never heard of Jagadisha Aarti before? Okay, I see one hand up. You have heard it, you just don't know that you've heard it. I'm positive we've all heard this. Jagadisha Aarti has been written by Pandit Shardha Ram. Pandit Shardha Ram. And he is a scholar, is a devotee from Punjab. And he wrote this in the late 1800s. So for more than 150 years, or around 150 years, Jagadisha Aarti has been sung. Not by millions, but billions. There's 1.2 billion people who live in Bharat itself. By billions. Some say that Panditji wrote this Aarti for Bhagwan Vishnu. Hare is the loving way of saying Hari. Hari is another name for Bhagwan Vishnu. What does the word Hari mean? Hari is the one who engages in Harati. Harati means to steal. Hari is another word for thief. So Harati, what do we want to steal, have stolen? What do we want to lose? I'll share more about that soon. Hari, said in a loving way, is like Hare. Like our son, his name is Vyasa, and my mother calls him Vyasi. You know, just a loving way of how she calls her grandson. So Hare. But think more deeply. This word Hari. This Aarti I keep saying is Jagadisha because that's what is said, but Isha is a short form for Ishwara. So it's actually Jagadishwara Aarti. The word Ishwara also means queen also means queen. That makes you all happy. Ishvara is also a name to describe Durga Devi. Ishvara. So when we chant Om Jai Jagadisha, do we have to think about Bhagavan Vishnu? Maybe Panditji was, but the word Isha, Ishvara, is much bigger than that. And you've all heard me say that Ishvara means creator. So as we go about studying Jagadisha Aarti, remember your creator. When I think of my creator in a physical way, in an immediate way, I think of my mother, not my father. My father, I don't think of him as a creator. I think of him as a upbringer, of course. But when I think of my creator, I think of my mother. So Om Jai Jagadisha Aarti. Ready? Let's study the first verse. I know you know all of this, but for the sake of thoroughness, I do have to chant each quarter and you repeat, okay? Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Bhakta Jano ke Sankata. Bhakta Jano ke Sankata. दास जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे. And now you pass the Aarti Thali back, but the diya blows out, so people are scrambling to light it up again. Correct? Okay, so what does this all mean? Om. Om is a word that we've been exposed to a lot. We'll keep studying that in time. Let's focus on Jaya. What does Jaya mean? Hanuman Chalisa also starts like this, no? Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagara. The word Jaya means victory, achievement, success. How do you gain victory, achievement, success? By priority. Jaya means victory. Victory comes through priority. By prioritizing. By giving our resources, time, and effort in a certain direction. Another word for Jaya would be Yajna, to be dedicated. Jaya. To whom Jagat, Isha, becomes Jagadisha. Jagat Ishvara becomes Jagadishvara, becomes Jagadisha. Lots of people have this name, Jagadish. I am making Jagadisha the priority, but how do I find Jagadisha? By finding the Jiva. All of us have questions that fit into three categories or three layers. Questions about the Jiva, that is, who am I? Questions about the Jagat, where am I? As in, creation. And then questions about Jagadishwara, which is more about why. So who am I? Where am I? Why am I? That's about who the creator is. So creator, creation, created, myself. If I go deep into who am I will also understand where am I, why am I. Our rishis were scientists of the micro because the micro is of the same nature as the macro. If I know water, I know all lakes. I know all oceans. So I am prioritizing. I'm going to give my resources and time and effort to Jagadisha. Jagadisha. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So Hare means Hari. Hari means Harati. And I asked all of you, what do you want stolen from you? We want our ego stolen. We want our stress stolen. When people are cranky, we want them to be stolen from us also. Right? There's lots that we want stolen from us. In our Upadesha Sara course, we're now exploring inquiry in a most profound way. And one of the messages we were exposed to is, our problems are created by us, which means our problems have to be uncreated. By whom? By us. We have to have our minds stolen. Now tell me, whose name, and we all know this name, means the stealer of minds? Manohara. Correct? Manohara is a name for Bhagwan Krishna. You hear that name, you hear the sound of his flute, you smell his garland, your mind is stolen. We'll study Gopika Geet one time, and how all of those gopis were totally stolen by him. So we are asking our mother to steal our minds from us because our minds keep thinking about us. That's selfishness. But if our minds are stolen from us, I become selfless then, correct? I want you to think about this in one more way. The word hari, or to steal, in a very practical sense means to unlearn. To unlearn. For me to unlearn that I am separate than you. For me to unlearn that these thoughts are so real. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. And this is repeated. We say Swami. Swami means master. And this is beautifully connected to the next line, which says Bhakta Jano ke Sangata. And this is simple Hindi. There's some Sanskrit words. How many of you experienced some hardship today or in the new year so far? Some sort of hardship. How many of you have experienced a hardship? Okay. That hardship caused you, how many of you felt that hardship caused you sadness? Okay. The word for hardship is kata. Kata. Now hardships need not cause sadness. Do not have to cause sadness, but when they do cause sadness, they're called sangata. That hardship I have internalized. The word sam means well. I've welded that to myself. I'll put this in a more medical sense. Pain is mandatory. Suffering is optional. Everyone goes through pain, kata. But not everyone goes through suffering, that's sangata. People who are bhaktas, they go through sangatas. People who are dasas, they only go through kata. What is the difference between a bhakta and a dasa? See, when we chant Aarti and we sing this, we treat them to be the same, but when you treat them to be the same, why would any meaningful scripture waste words? You can't treat them to be the same. One has to be deeper or lighter than the other. Lots of us are bhaktas. We have God in our lives. But a dasa only has God in their life. I have God in my home and my city and my reputation and so many other things in my life. But a dasa, they don't have Bhagwan api, Bhagwan also. They have Bhagwan eva. Not God also, they have God alone. For a dasa, there is no sangata. So all of the people who had their hands up for sadness, this line is encouraging us that how kata devolves into sangata, we have to evolve from bhaktas to dasas. From bhaktas to dasa. You know what a dasa is? Someone who knows that they cannot be enlightened by themselves. A dasa is one who knows that they cannot exhaust vasanas completely. A dasa is one who is fully aware of their limits. So when someone says, Om Namah Parvati Pataye, what do? They put their hands up and say, Har Har Mahadev. I can't do this. We put our hands in our pockets and say, Har Har Mahadev. And then we remember Bahubali or some sort of war call. But that has to be arms up, fingers up, like Mother Draupadi. When she lets go of her sari falls on her, not off her. But as long as she's holding on to her sari keeps falling off of her. Dasa. And finally, the last part of this first verse is Kshana me dura kare. Kshana means, you can say it means second. Kshana means moment. Dura kare. All of that sadness can be pushed far away, can be transcended in a moment when I let go of them. And what's fascinating is we do this every day. When you're sleeping and you wake up, that sadness comes onto you in a moment, correct? When that alarm clock comes on and you remember all of your responsibilities, kshana mein na dura kare, paas mein aaga. It comes closer to us, correct? So we go through that waking up. You can't say it happens in a second or even a moment. You just describe it like that. When we have the clarity and conviction and confidence that I am not bound in that knowledge, kshana mein dura kare, that ego, that forgetfulness will not be there. Is there a snake? There is only a rope. And so once again I remember, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. I remember you. This is my plan. I remember you. Let us chant this shloka together. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Bhakta Jano ke Sangata, Dasa Jano ke Sangata, Kshana me dura kare, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Om